Hey everybody, it says I'm live, so I'm assuming I'm live. I got a new head thing, a new satin cap. It looks the same. I almost got a purple one, but I didn't. So I wanted to do one of the spreads out of the back of the book because I love this book. And I want to pull more cards. I like how like that. It was appropriate for the time, for the messages that came through. It was interesting, but I do like something that can be a little more grounded. Hey Zelda, how you doing? How are you? How are you? And again, it's like I'm seeing the same cards already in this deck. Well, you can't what? Um, the Four of Cups came out as I was shuffling it, and at the bottom of the deck is the Hanged Man with this Eight of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles behind it. Driving. Oh, girl, be careful. Okay. So the Nine of Pentacles is behind this Eight of Cups. The Nine of Pentacles has always been behind this Eight of Cups. But behind this, I don't know if it was there before because I never looked. Is this Serpentia soul? No problem. And I'm looking at these things in the sky and this Nine of Pentacles. And they're very similar. What just popped into my mind, it's like, but seek ye first the kingdom of God. I think it's Matthew 6:33, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and all its righteousness, and all of these things shall be added unto you. It's like you don't have to focus on the Nine of Pentacles. If you seek the light or the sun, then those things sort of naturally come with it. And so maybe then this is us a little bit being lost in the world or trying to come up with ways to find whatever it is that we want. When in reality, it's like if we seek this, everything else just sort of naturally comes along with it. I don't know. I'm like, man, all these I got a whole deck of cards I ain't even seen, and I keep seeing the same two. I'll actually read these in a book. And there's a spread. So in the spread, it calls for using only majors, but I'm not going to do that. And this is going to be modified a little bit. So Serpentia Soul. Wait, what is this? Oh, it's wait. No, I'm looking at the Hangman. The Hanged Man. Let's see. The Hanged Man is suspended upon the wheel of time, the clock that holds his very. Let me take a break. Let me breathe so I can read. The Hanged Man is suspended upon the wheel of time, the clock that holds his every moment through the journey of his days. He is accustomed to weathering the natural ordeals of the different seasons of life as the wheel of time turns. As he ages and grows and experiences equal doses of joy and sorrow, facing life as a series of fleeting moments. He demonstrates the ability to spring back after ordeals, a tenacity to survive and to thrive through many trials, the gift of understanding the truth of the passing of time. He knows that nothing is permanent and that all things, good and bad, pass into the halls of memory. He has the strength to endure and the will to move beyond all challenges. Thus, while he appears to exist in an impossible position, he knows the truth. He is accompanied in all things by his faithful companion, Wolf, guardian and protector of his dreams. Oh my gosh, that's what? Is that a wolf up there and not a goat? I thought that was a goat. It's so funny that this says He is accompanied in all things by his faithful companion, Wolf, guardian and protector of his dreams. Because so in the dream, when I was talking about going to like find a guide to give me the letter, it was a wolf. I used to see this big black wolf in all my dreams. Not all my dreams. I used to see it a lot, and there's a field across the street. And we would be over there playing, and then it would show up, and everybody else would run away scared. And it was just there. I used to see that wolf so much. And then the last time I saw the wolf, it gave me a message. And it's a message that I just came and I stuck in a drawer. And then I was trying to go back. And I was like, does anybody know when I went into the establishment where all the other guides were? I was like, does anybody know about the wolf? And that's why, like, the one lady was like, "Oh, a wolf! Like that sounds scary." That's why I laughed. She was like, "I don't know anything about that, but it sounds scary." I was like, "No." So it's interesting that the wolf, the guardian and protector of dreams, came out. I stopped seeing the wolf in my dreams a long time ago. Like I was still a kid. Well, it was a while ago. I wonder if that was before I met Ian. So that would have been before I was like 15. But yeah, that's what it was. It was a wolf. Now that's why I'm like, what? What? And I dream a lot. I'm a dreamer. I was like, okay, that's interesting. Outside of the sphere of time, Wolf keeps the hanged man focused on the great spiraling rings of eternity, on the beyond, where time and space no longer hold one hostage. Likewise, the mermaid, wisdom of the unconscious depths, is a protector, the inner voice that helps the hanged man see truth. She manifests dreams, reminding him she has him securely within her protection, and that time is finite, as well as of the trials and sorrows it manifests. Through dreams and visions, she helps the hanged man remember the truth of his being, empowering him to hold secure and to see beyond the illusions of perception. Beneath, in the depths of the unconscious waters, is her mascot, Fish of Wisdom. It is Fish that sends a powerful back fin to connect with the hangman's hair, awakening him to the wisdom of the depths as it rises in dream and visionary consciousness. Sacrifice and ordeal are part of the hangman's lot in life. Yet, with passion and devotion to principles of truth, with the wisdom of the unconscious, he is not left to endure and rise above his trials without assistance. Ooh, you're okay. I'm glad to hear it. I know that there are some times when being okay or being all right is like really good. So, okay. So that's a wolf in the moon. I was like, there's a little goat up here. It's a dream. What was it? This card I'm interested to see. This one came out again. Four of Cups. Let's see. I got this letter in the book. Keep in my place. There's the Four of Wands. Here we go. Four of Cups. The Great Mother Ananke firmly holds our lives, never letting us go. Overseeing her daughters, the Fates, Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos, who work the threads of our days. Oh, I feel like I talked about the Fates lately. I think Russ talked about the Fates lately. You're happy. Oh, I'm glad to hear it. I'm doing so well. Like, I'm in this space now of really I feel like I want to say carving out of really like finally deciding, finally being able, not being able, but finally starting to move in a direction instead of just being like, oh, I could do this, or oh, I could do that, or I could do this. Um, and I don't know, it just kind of hit me yesterday how well taken care of I've been in the space of all of this. And it made me really grateful and really thankful to myself for all of the work that I did before last year hit. Because if I didn't do that, I don't I don't know if I would have made it through 2020. Honestly, I don't know if I would have been able to tough it out and to make it. But also to my family, and of course to the divine. But like my family, like it's a family of prayers and a family of warriors, and who know the power of faith, and who also have strength to overcome and go through so many things. And my grandma picked me up today, and she was on the family prayer line, so I got to sit in for the first little bit of it. Um, and yeah, just really grateful and thankful to have been kept in the ways that I've been kept throughout all of this. And it's funny that like it's talking about time here because it's almost like in a lot of ways time didn't stand still, but there were a lot of things that I could have been concerned about, that I could have been like pressured about or worried about, but it's like it all stopped for that time. And now everything is starting to pick back up and like, okay, it's time for me to start moving as well. And again, it's that energy of like something building internally, and pretty soon it's going to be time to start moving externally. And there's a lot of guidance in this, a lot of wisdom, a lot of protection here. But it all sort of sits outside of most of this. But we have a foot out there and our head is out there. So if we choose to see it, we'll see it. Yeah. So Four of Cups, where was I? But I'm glad to hear you well. The Great Mother Ananke firmly holds our lives, never letting us go. I've never heard of her before. Overseeing her daughters, the Fates, Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos, who work the. Oh, wait! Oh, that's the needle, the thread, the scissors. Atropos cuts it, Clotho measures it. That's the measuring stick. And Lachesis weaves it, I think. Is that in. Maybe not. It looks like there's a small infinity sign on her chest right there. I didn't even notice that before. Overseeing her daughters, the Fates, Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos, who work the threads of our days. Clotho spins the quality of the thread, entwining knots along with smooth surfaces, thickening the threads that they give strength in times of need and challenge. Lachesis dispenses the threads, allotting the length of thread to the length of life. Yet it is Atropos who cuts the threads, dividing lives into segments of smooth and rough, into the easily frayed and the durably stable. These naturally represent the challenges each is given during the cycles. During the cycles, challenges during the cycles. It talked about the hangman. I love how interconnected all of these messages are. It's like me and all these dreams. I'm like, I think this dream that I just had links to this dream that I had a long time ago, and it's like it creates this whole storyline between multiple dreams. I'm like, wait, and one day something just puts them all together. But that talks about us knowing that we're sort of kept and protected during the space of those trials and in those cycles. These naturally represent the challenges each is given during their cycles, the various chapters of our life. As the cycles continue on eternally, each is influenced by their labors. Here and now, emotionally, the seeker feels that Atropos has cut away all that was dearly loved, leaving only the frayed threads of endless knots, yielding a time of isolation and sorrow. The seeker must endure and see beyond the present, for the Lachesis is about to dispense more thread, its fibers smooth and strong, each demonstrating a shift towards a renewed period of hope, peace, and love. The seeker must delve deeply within, finding spiritual strength to endure present sorrows and disruptions. The sight must be on what is to come, remembering that the Great Mother Ananke holds each securely. And that's what I was talking about when it says, dig in within. The seeker must delve deeply within, finding spiritual strength to endure present sorrows and disruptions. Like when I talk about like being from a family of like prayers, and warriors and those who serve others, especially my mom and my whole family is prayers and warriors, and faith is important. Faith is one of my ancestral gifts. I truly believe it. But like the service and holding space that my mother and my grandmother do, that they do, yeah, and that I was sort of taught to do at the same time growing up, is something that I didn't really have. I don't think I could have appreciated as much before as I can coming out of last year. I've been so incredibly like kept. Um, and I never really had that moment of like fear or panic or whatever, but I did a lot of work before. So I'm not surprised. Bottom of the deck. So two groups of two cards just came out. Bottom of the deck is the Lady of Wands and the Dream Angel with the moon behind it. There's been a lot of like moon, like, but also like moon and sun energy. Because here it is again, the sun and the moon. Three things cannot long be hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth, right? The Dream Angel is number 17. So this is a star energy. The Lady of Wands is here. It's reminding me of the Three of Swords and how that light was above the head instead of it being in the heart, like with the Keeper of Mysteries or the Magician card. I don't remember the names yet. Yeah, three things cannot long be hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. I know in Teen Wolf, there's a pack of Buddhists, I believe, wolves, and that's their mantra that they use to like calm and center themselves so that they don't lose themselves to instinct or to impulse, so that they stay the man instead of the beast. And this has given me this energy, especially through the Lady of Wands. Lady of Wands, it can be a really fiery, can be like really defensive, really okay, Zelda. It can be really defensive, really like abrasive, like it can burn in response. It can be very reactionary. And so there's something in this in learning how to use, I don't want to say those destructive impulses because I don't think they're necessarily destructive. Is They can be used in destructive ways when we're coming from a reactionary space. But there's something here about learning to use it in a new way because we're coming to a space where we're no longer reacting, or we're not always reacting to something going on external to us. And what it's doing is it's elevating the solar plexus in a way that connects it to the heart. And so in this space, it makes it a lot less likely for us to act out of character or for us to act in a way that betrays how we truly feel. And it's not that we necessarily become doormats for people to just walk on, or that we just like give ourselves over to the circumstances in life with no agency. But it's that ability to remain sort of grounded through all of it. And what it does is it promotes growth in all seasons. Instead of us having a season of growth in like the spring and the summer when it's like time out, and then in the fall and the winter, we sort of shrink back. It's like, again, it promotes growth in all seasons and all cycles because of whatever she sort of finds within, and that foundation she finds. And then the dream angel, it's almost like a farewell. And we see the turtle down there. With the turtle in this card, it's giving me it's that amphibian energy where it can live on the land or in the water. If it's land dominant, it's probably a tortoise. If it's water dominant, it's probably a turtle. And you can tell the difference because a turtle has a slimmer shell. It's more aqua dynamic. It can move through the water a lot better. If it's a tortoise, then it has like that big sort of hump in the shell, or the shell is shaped different because they don't have to worry about being aqua dynamic. They don't have to worry about being streamlined as they move through currents, right? Because they're on the ground. And so it's almost like the tortoise can carry a little bit more of a camel aspect where it can retain some kind of nutrition, or where it can self nourish if it needs to. But yeah, that's a turtle because it's pretty smooth. But the turtle also reminds me, it reminds me of that saying, like, we don't judge a fish by its ability to climb trees. Because if we looked at the turtle on land, it's like, yeah, we can say that the turtle is one of the slowest animals on the planet. But if we look at the turtle in the water, then it's almost like it's a completely different animal. It moves in a different way at a different speed. It goes about doing things in a way that is not extremely similar to how it does it on the land. And it feels a little bit like a farewell from the dream angel. It feels a little bit like, I don't know where the hangman is. It feels a little bit like venturing outside your comfort zone. Like, it translates to venturing outside of your comfort zone. It feels like venturing outside your bubble of protection. And maybe that's why it's so important to be so grounded and so centered, because within that bubble, it's like everything is kind of sort of laid out. You can experience this and you can experience that, but there's no real, it's very like limited. Right. It's like if you never take a risk in life, like, will you be relatively safe? Like, yeah, but without much risk, it could be argued that there won't be much fulfillment or much enjoyment in life either. So the left two on the, oh, well, here we go again. I tell y'all, I keep seeing the same cards. So on the side of the dream angel is the Lord of Pentacles and the Dream Protector. I love this. This is the most watery Emperor card, Emperor space that I've ever seen. But I'm not surprised. There is a little bit of, it feels like an ascension here from the Lord of Pentacles to the Dream Protector. Or it's an energy of like waking up in a dream, or just waking up and moving forward in a new way. It's like being granted access to a new suite, a new host of ability. Those that are more dreamlike in nature, and it feels like they're more dreamlike in nature because of what it gives you the ability to do, or the ability to accomplish. And again, it's sort of venturing outside of that area of protection because you don't need it anymore. You've done enough within yourself, you've done enough within your spirituality that, again, it's like that blue flame of truth parts the veil. And so this is who he becomes in integration with everything that lies on the other side. The greater part of him, the him that's less limited, the dream protector. And it feels like he comes into a space within his own awakening of like holding space for others in some way, or allowing, it's like opening a space. I don't know, it's holding a space. So on the other side, ooh, new cards. It's the Sun and the Four of Swords. In the Sun card, we see both the Sun and the Moon in the same card this time. Both connected by that wet moon, that wet crescent moon right there. We see the blue and the red. It's almost like the space where the conscious and the unconscious meet. And this is on the Lady of Wands side with the Four of Swords. I don't know why I want to say it feels like the birth of a new star or something like that because of this energy up here. Because it feels like it was a moon. It feels like it was a satellite. It feels like it was something that just reflected light instead of having its own light. But now it's like it's being charged up. It's being given the ability to create life, oof, okay, to create light in and of itself. And again, it's reminding me of that Semyaza right there. Oh, look, and he's wearing the white robes too. It's reminding me of the Semyaza that just came out, and that he looks upwards to the stars and he remembers who he is and he gives himself a name. But it's not a name given. A name is a descriptor, and so he has to act in the ways to be recognized a certain way, and it leads to the Sun. It bridges the conscious and the unconscious, the more 3D material side and the spiritual side. And look, there's that gateway right there. And then there's the cave here. Again, with that cave, oh, there's the mountain. Here's the dream mountain. It reminds me of this energy that somehow it can hold space for others. It's like it opens up the way. It becomes an anchor. And it's the Emperor is the anchor in the Weaver Tarot. It becomes an anchor. It's like it proves that it's possible. Since it continues to sort of operate in that with this Lord of Pentacles energy, it's like it makes it even stronger. It becomes the dominant frequency within itself. And then it's like it makes things easier. There's almost a little bit of a fish energy here. What's at the bottom of the deck? The bottom of the deck is the moon. Yeah, because the moon was behind these two. Oh my gosh. The moon and the sun. That's what I got. That's where I'm gonna leave this actually. I'm not gonna do the spread because this feels good. But again, on this side, with the sun and the four of swords, it comes after our ability to remain grounded and centered and to focus our energy in a different way, to respond and react, to respond in a different way rather than having such like visceral reactions, and instead of losing self. And again, it anchors in this energy. That's why the trees grow so tall here. Because even in the winter time, even when they've lost their leaves, they continue to grow. Okay, Zelda. And then on this side, with the dream angel, we have the Lord of Pentacles and the protector of dreams. It's like this is the farewell. This is an evolution. Both of these, like this is a very similar energy. Like these two together, or I guess maybe these two more accurately, they both mirror this sort of like ability to be grounded no matter what circumstances come. This talks about the growth that happens because of that and the energy that's inspired because of it. This talks about how we're recognized and how we come to know more of the truth and how the veil then parts for us. This is what we become. And it feels like there's a passing of the torch here. That's why we're venturing outside of the realm of protection. A That's why we're going outside of the realm of protection. It's like these flowers, it's like a congratulatory graduation type of energy, but it's also passing on the torch because now this Lord of Flame will be the dream protector. Not only will the Lord of Flame be able to protect himself, but in some ways he'll be able to protect something and others in a way. I just saw 31, 33 with 3. He'll become that. Love that. Oof. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I love this deck. Yeah, and it's that Semyaza in some way. Because it said Semyaza called to his brethren. And so it's like Semyaza comes into a space of remembrance. And then he somehow is able to trigger that in other people. Or able to guide or assist in some way. And then they'll go out and they'll do the same. And that becomes that sort of nation behind the flame. The nation of the flame or something. I don't know. That's when the Fire Nation attacked. Okay. So, bottom of the deck is the Dream Protector. The final cards that came out, it's the Moon Chariot, the Dreamer of Cups with the snake and the fish, and the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is giving me a recognition of self. These two, there's an element of transformation here. It's reminding me of that turtle. There's something about seeing ourselves in a different way, and it's like she's becoming a woman instead of a mermaid. Or she's learning the magic to transition between the two. So it's like at night she dreams of a mermaid, in the daytime she's this girl. But she'll somehow recognize that she is the mermaid and the girl. And then there's the moon chariot here. This moon chariot is a solar eclipse. We have the lunar eclipse, I believe, on the 26th. So 2 weeks after that, I think it's early June or mid June. It'll be the new moon Gemini solar eclipse. And this lunar eclipse is going to be a total lunar eclipse. It's going to be a super moon total lunar eclipse. Super eclipse. So that's what I got. The moon chariot is interesting because with that moon element, it prioritizes the undercurrent. It's not surprising. It's a subconscious energy. It's the mystical dream tarot, but it emphasizes what happens within rather than the typical chariot as a lot of like external movement and things that we can see or things that we experience. It all happens within. Oh, look. The Dreamer of Cups is holding the moon. Here. You see in her hands there. The moon that's eclipsing that sun. And then you can see the light from the sun shimmering on her tail right there. And then she recognizes or remembers who she is in some way. And so this dream protector is the one that's been calling out to her in that dream space. Oh, and would you look at that? We see these brunettes, right? And then we see the brunette pushing the blonde, pushing the chariot. And then the dream angel is blonde. There's going to be a profound remembrance or experience or something that happens in that space. But Pluto is also retrograde, so it's not surprising. Oh, look. There's the sun. The sun is under the dream angel with that wet moon. So that's what I got. I hope you have a good whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. I am back home now, so I will be running through the days. Last one I have is the weekend of April 17th. So we got quite a few to get through. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Maybe not. Okay. I just looked at the one from today. I wonder if I'll remember. All right. I'll catch y'all later. Bye.